Alright, this is a little video of me finding a small goblin camp on Xanadu the other day. And when I say small, it is very small. I'd already killed about half the mobs at this stage. I think it was a total of 16 of the various goblins. There was no watchtowers, which made things a whole lot easier. I still had to be really careful though. I parked up my wagon nearby and actually rode over on a wild horse because I didn't want them taking out my wagon horses again like they did in the other goblin camp that I did. Saying that, that one was totally different. There were 4 goblin towers and they were targeting the horses all the time. Even this, as you can see, I'm targeting them and they're targeting the horse as well. I'm like, oh, I better back up, I better get away. But I think by this stage the horse was already too injured. Yeah, 1 dead horse. Oops. I think at this stage there was like 7 or 8 of the goblins left. It was mostly fenced in. There were about 3 gaps. It had the main tent that you can't take, and then it had 2 smaller tents that you have to lockpick to take. They changed that since when I did the first one, because with the first one you could just pick them up, but yeah, now you have to lockpick the tents if you want to take them. There was 2 chests and quite a few of the torches, quite a few of the skull posts, quite a few of the bone piles. You'll get to see that in a minute as me healing up. I have edited this. This original recording was 3 hours long. And this is a small one, a small camp. Yeah, edited out all the lock picking and stuff because my lock picking is really low, so it took me forever to lock pick all the stuff that I wanted to. The actual killing of the goblins didn't take very long at all. Just got to be a bit cautious. And the reason I didn't stream this, the reason I did it as a recording was, well, if you know Wurm Online well enough, you know that if I was streaming and somebody wanted to find out where I was, they could either try and recognise it by the landmarks, or they could do a locator spell. And I wasn't sure how long this was going to take, so I thought, no, I'll do it as a recording. I don't want somebody swooping in and taking all the loot if I have to go offline for some reason or other. Because when I did the first Goblin Camp, that took maybe 10, 12 hours to do. But I did have to send away for more cotton. And that had to come all the way, literally all the way across Zan. You're talking coming from Whitefay to Varrock area. Yeah, so this is me just taking out the goblins. Um, there was only one healer. I was really lucky with that as well. So once I found him and took him out, it was a lot easier. But to start with, I was fighting one of the brutes, and every time I backed off to heal, the healer would heal the brute. So yeah, I was happy to find him and take him out. Doing it on foot at the moment. That's probably not the best idea, actually. I should have gone off and got maybe another wild horse if I could find one. Damage wise, they tend to do a lot of little wounds that sort of mount up. So what's the expression? Death by a thousand cuts? Something like that. But yeah, that's what it felt like. Because you've got all these, you sort of heal the bigger wounds, but they're only like 4 or 5. But then you've got lots of them all over. Takes an awful lot of cotton. Not complaining, it's doable. Just do need to have a lot of cotton. Or wool or whatever healing stuff you're using. If it's bruises, you can use a farmer's salve as well. I didn't get any internal wounds. I think when I did the first Goblin Camp, the one with 4 watchtowers, I did get some internal wounds. I think there were a lot more of the brutes, so the goblin brutes on that one. There was only one goblin brute here. I also had a champion on the first one that I did as well, so there was no champion or anything particularly too difficult here. The funny thing was, this was set in the middle of a natural maple forest, and a lot of the wooden items that I recovered were made of maple. The 2 chests were most of the, I think all the goblin, oh, all the poles with the skull on the top. They were all of maple. Most of the other bits were. The other goblin camp that I did, it was situated right in the middle of desert, completely on sand, and I had a variety of wooden stuff. So I'm wondering if where it's situated influences the wood types of the loot. Seems that it might. It's got a couple of olives, but it's mostly maple. Me being cautious. Checking it out. I like the little fireplace. It's a shame we can't take that. But that vanishes upon completing the camp. I think there was another 3 goblins over there. Yeah, there's a gap there. I think there was three. There's another gap at the top there. There's a gap over by those goblins. Oh, and there's another one behind me. Might 3 or 4 gaps then. And on the other one that I did, it was completely enclosed and gated with lock gates. And then the 2 chests were also locked behind additional gates and fences. This one, it's all open plan. There's nothing sort of locked away. But it was a big difference in quality of loot. That first one that I did with the 4 towers, I had high quality loot. I think we had, it was either a carving knife or a butchering knife, which was 100 quality. This one, you'll have to see on the video, but I think we went as low as 20 quality with some of the loot, and as high as maybe 40. We didn't get any of the spell gems, but you'll see that later anyway. I think it's nearly done now. Yeah, there you go. You get the message saying that it's done. So it's me just having a look around, seeing what there is, seeing what quality it is, seeing what the locks are like. Got one of those altars as well. 2 chests. 2 tents that you can, I believe, you can use to respawn at. But you have to lockpick them first. And all the other barrels and things that you can pick up. That was a tight squeeze. I was like, oh, no, hold on a minute. I'm going to cut that down because that's annoying and that's in the way. Plus it's olive and I don't like olives. So too big. Better. Oh yeah, me disappearing back over to go and get the wagon. And the wagon's right next to a guard tower, so anybody that recognised the area would know where I was. It's actually right beside a main highway as well. Quite a popular one. Got attacked by a troll, but I set the guards on it. I just ignored it. It's like, oh, I can't be bothered with dealing with you. I've got all this stuff to try and pick up and put on the wagon. The guards something to do. Interestingly, it was too far away to get the guards to come over. It's actually in between 2 towers on that main road as well, but I think both guard towers are too far away for it. Right, this I was being ever so careful going through because if you hit the horses on these spikes, they not only get injured, but they disconnect from the wagon or the cart if you're using a cart. That was the big mistake that I made on the first camp I came across. I went right up to the gate, put two horses on the other side of the gate, and then tried to lock pick the gate. Of course, all the goblins attacked. The horses disconnected and got killed straight away. And I was like, ah, run away. Let's get wild bison and wild horses on the cart then. Yeah, this is me realising that, oh, they've changed it. I can't pick that up. Doesn't stop me keep trying though. Pick all these little bits up. All the goblin skulls that I dropped before. They're heavy, so I just stacked them somewhere easily. I could find them later. This is my problem. The wagon is full of stuff. This is a really bad habit of mine. So it's me trying to juggle the contents to get everything to go in. This will be an issue later as well. But we worked it out. I think at this stage it was wishful thinking. It's like, please go in, please fit. I've got to pick up all this stuff and it won't fit. Picking all the rest of it up. Yeah, not fitting. Um, yeah, this was a distraction actually. I was riding on my way to go to my alt steed where I keep my ship, and I was going to sail to Indy to check on my one of my other deeds. And this is the main road to the coast, so I was going along and I was like, oh no, there's one up there. So I went up and I killed about half of them, about 8, I think it was. And then I realised it was 5 p.m. and I had to get the dinner ready. So I went away and logged off and hoped that nobody would find it in the meantime. And then, of course, I came back and I was debating, should I stream it or should I just record it? And I thought, no, I better just record it because I didn't want anybody using some sort of locator spell and or realizing where I was anyway and coming and trying to take the loot. Also, I didn't know how long it was going to take. So I've still got 2 chests to lockpick, and I've still got 2 of the tents to lockpick. You're wondering what I'm doing now. I'm flattening this little square. I have a plan. We're going to do a 1x1 shed. Because at this stage, I didn't know how long it was going to take. So I was like, oh, is it going to take all night? Am I going to have to log off without having lockpicked everything I wanted to? So I thought, right, well, we'll build a 1x1 shed, stick a lock on the door, move the chests inside and whatever loot that I cannot carry inside, and then at least we can come back and get it later. I'd already got all this ready. I'd already had this planned. So luckily I had enough nails, so I just had to make a few planks from all the scraps of wood that I had from foraging. It's just me realising, oh, we've got all new log stuff on there. I'm debating whether or not we should do a log one instead to see what it looks like. And I thought, no, yeah, I'm not going to make you watch me building a 1x1 shed. There we are, one complete shed. Put the lock on as well already. The nice thing about these is you can place them over, push them in, and then go inside, then drag them in. So if you can't get to lock picking them straight away, at least they're sort of secure for when you want to come back and do it. So there's one. Yeah, these are both maple. There you go, all nice and tidy. And also that would have to be loaded onto a wagon, that little altar thing. So I decided to put that in there as well, because as you saw before, I didn't have any room. I've got 4 of those now. One from here, 3 at the other one. As me checking to see if I could get that one. Still can't get that one. Wandering around picking all those up. Those are all dotted round the edge. Just have to be careful of the spikes. Quite nice inside. Oh yeah, I thought I'd better cut the trees down that were inside, just in case something spawned inside them. Because you've got the various bits and pieces that you can pick up. But I don't know if it would, but it might have done, so I thought, I may as well cut it down. Oh, and that packing that you see in the middle of the camp, that was what it was like. I didn't do that. The camp itself spawned like that with its sort of 3 tiles in the middle packed. Yeah, it's got some nice decorations inside. Just a shame you can't take them. Tidying up. Yeah, that's showing that they're all maple, which I was surprised about. Not complaining. Yeah, I was still a bit bemused at this time because I was like, why can't I take them? And I thought, oh, maybe they've changed it so that you have to lockpick them. Luckily, I still had all the lockpicks from last time on here because at the other one I had to mine some lumps from the meteors and make lockpicks from them. Built a forge and everything. Sort of looking through the lockpicks and sorting them out because I wasn't sure what ones were going to be good enough to do the locks because you need certain quality for certain types of locks. But they turned out to be okay. It just took a while to do. Yeah. I edited it so that you didn't have to see me spending forever lockpicking the two tents. Starting to get dark. Tidying up again. So yeah, that first one was done. So then I'd start on this second one. Many broken lockpicks later. Yeah, my skill was slowly going up. That's the second one done. Very carefully moving the wagon around. Didn't want to snag it on the fences. Right, look, picking those two next. The tents were actually a higher quality lock than those two chests, if I remember correctly. But they still took a while to do with my low skill. In hindsight, it might have been better for me to make some higher quality ones than this. I could probably manage to do about, or if I was at home, I could do it, sort of work with any quality metal, but out and about, I could probably get like maybe 60 quality if I was lucky. Making them on like a forge in the middle of nowhere. That's what I did on the other camp. Now, this took a while to do. Same again though, I'm not going to make you watch it. Well, make you watch a little bit. Many broken lockpicks later. First one done. And they were all skinned, which was nice. Actually, I don't think I've had anything that wasn't skinned from this, so. I think this was me just examining them, see what the different skins were. Yeah, set to work on the other one. Yeah, not an overly complicated camp to do, unlike my first one, which, like I've already said, took forever. But this was actually a nice little one to film. Many broken lockpicks later. this was a nice one to film just to show people what the camp is like. You know, a little bit of what the goblins are like, a little bit about the loot. This is me doing the second one. Not as good as the first one. And this one has surprised me as well. It had a container of gruel, and I think there was a container of alcohol of some sort as well in the other one. But yeah, that was what the loot was. Not, anything special or anything massively great, but it was a low quality camp. I was happy with what I got. I think one of the items was silver, which was nice. There, so everything lockpicked. And I had an idea about how to clear out some stuff from the wagon so that I could pick everything up and take it home. This is me manoeuvring very carefully again. I was like, yeah, gotta mind the spikes. There's a 3-point turn in a wagon. It was probably more than that. There we go. Yeah, like I say, it's not very far from a main road, so what I wanted to do was find one of the signpost things. Yeah, to those who know Xanadu, it'll become very obvious in a minute where I was. And you can look up the towers and that if you want to find out where I was. But this is the area where somebody's written Xanadu in big letters on the ground. That's part of the highway, because, that's what you do. I used up all the wood that I had on the wagon, so cut down this fir tree for a little bit of wood. And this was so I could do a wagoneer crate, offload some of my crates. I'm like, where's the rest of the wood? Where's it gone? And then I realised it's underneath the stack, which is weird. It didn't join the stack, but anyway. Yeah, the Wagoneer crates are pretty easy to do, which is nice. Connect it up to that. I think I put in about 5 crates, didn't I? Yeah. And I sent those to myself. Oh yeah, this is Xanadu. So this is all the Wagoneer stations. So I'm like, okay, right, I've got to sort this so I can find the nearest. Done. I'm like, right, let's ride back and pick up all the stuff that we've left behind. Hopefully have enough room. Yeah, there's the notification that I've got the delivery waiting. Or waiting to be accepted, isn't it? Something like that. Gold water. Wonder who did that. Right, carefully back in again. Loading that up. And a couple of chests. Right, now I had to get out. You'll see what happens to the horses in a minute, because I messed this one up. There. So that one hit the fence and it disconnected, and it also got injured. Go back and grab him. Hitch him back on again. Just putting the rest of the stuff in. And I think that is us more or less done. So, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.